Hey, what is up, guys? Today I'm gonna be showing you guys, is THUNDERFURY really worth it? I'm also a rogue, so I have it in my offhand. Obviously you would not want to main hand this because the top end damage is really low, because it's a very fast sword. You see it's 1.9. The high warlord sword's 2.9, so you're getting a top end damage at 207, and this is a top end of 115, and basically all of your abilities scale with your top end and your bottom end damage. So like your eviscerate will scale with whatever your top end and bottom end damage is, and so will your sinister strike and hemo, other abilities like that, backstab. So basically you want to have a slow main hand for whatever spec you are, and you want to have a fast offhand mainly, because your offhand is mainly for poison procs, and you're going to get a lot more poison procs if your weapon speed is faster. So like the high warlord one, 1.8 speed, so THUNDERFURY is only 0.1 more than it, so it's not that much slower than it. But here's the thing, a lot of people are saying THUNDERFURY has a 19% proc rate, is what I've been hearing on Classic. I know in like old vanilla, I think people were saying the unnerfed THUNDERFURY was like 30%, which is pretty crazy, honestly. Because I feel like even at 19%, it procs a lot more. But look how much DPS you actually lose. See, this is 53.9 DPS. This is 59.4, so you're almost losing like 5 DPS, right? And not only losing 5 DPS, but gives you 5 agility, which is 5 AP, and this gives you 28 AP. So this is 23 AP better, right? And 14 AP is 1 DPS. So it's actually 2 DPS better just off AP. So it's actually 61.4 DPS. And also it gives 1% crit. And as swords, 1% crit, you don't value crit as much because all of daggers damage is from critting from your backstab. Like if you don't crit your backstab, you're not doing like any damage at all. Whereas swords, you have a more consistent damage in PvE, so it doesn't really matter as much if you're not critting, so you more just want to stack AP for the consistent damage. So let's see here. I'm just gonna white swing attack these ogres, and we'll see if my weapons will actually give me more DPS. It'll give me a breakdown here in details on what's doing what, how much damage is coming from the THUNDERFURY. Do I think it's actually worth to PvE with THUNDERFURY versus the rank 14 weapon? I would say though, for PvP, this is definitely going to be your biz for PvP, just because the burst from the proc is insane, and not only that, but it slows their attack speed by 20%. So against other warriors, other rogues, other people that melee, right? It's very good for PvP. But for PvE, basically what I've found so far from raiding Molten Core and BWL is that on non-single target fights, so like fights that have ads, it procs a lot more, so it's more worth than like if you're doing single target the whole time. Then obviously you're gonna get less procs because you're not cleaving, so you have less times where your offhand will be actually hitting. So that's what I've found so far. But let's put poisons on here, and this will also be a factor too, because I'll get less poison procs on my weapons because it's 0.1 speed slower than the high warlord offhand. So we'll just white swing it. I'll probably have to evasion because these guys actually kind of hit hard, but we'll see. I'm not going to use any abilities because I could crit a sinister strike, I want to try to make it as scientific as possible off of only melee swinging, so you're just seeing my damage off of my weapons. So that's one proc right there. Keep in mind that that one was a level 55 because the other ones might have a little bit less health. I probably should have cleared my details before, but let's see. This was a son of... Yep. So let's go one more with Thunderfury, just so I can have two things for information here. Might need to pot here, honestly. These guys do a lot of damage. Have anything. Keep in mind that I also have Crusader on my Thunderfury, and I have 15 agility on my Offhand. Normally 15 agility is going to be better for PvE because it's more consistent. Your Offhand's going to be proccing a lot less compared to your main hand because you can get procs off of Sinister Strikes, off of Viscerates, and you know, like saps and stuff like that, and gouges to get Crusader. Whereas on your Offhand, it's only off white attacks, and so there's a lot less opportunities. So you want more consistent. You're going to want 15 agility on your Offhand for PvE, but for PvP, you want to be full burst, right? You want double Crusader. That's why I have Crusader on my Thunderfury, because I'm going to be PvPing with it also. Honestly, like, I should have Weapon Chain on it because I don't have the Tier 2 gloves yet. But let's just hope we don't get disarmed when we fight warriors. Alright, so we have 2 sets of data for the Thunderfury. Now let's try the rank 14 Offhand and just melee him down. Still don't have evasion back, which is kind of annoying, but is what it is. Might need the pot. We'll see. Missing a lot, which is kind of unfortunate. There's one poison proc. There's a Crusader proc. Hopefully he doesn't crit me for 1k. Alright, he didn't. That's awesome. So that was only 176. I'm pretty sure that was way less. I'm actually out of bandages. I can actually make one bandage though. Alrighty. And then let's just make one regular one. And I'll put that over here for now. So I might need the pot against this guy. So we'll look through all the details in a second. But let's get this guy too for more data. I have evasion back. It's really good. Oh no, I had skull on, man. I don't know how long I had skull on, to be honest. Okay, he just hit me for 1,000. It's really unfortunate. I might be dead. Really need a crit. Oh, wowzers, that was close. I really wanted to vanish, but I also really wanted to see the DPS. Alright, so let's look through the fights. I did 4. right? So we'll start with Thunderfury right here. Let's see, 612 damage from the Thunderfury. That's 2 procs. It procs for 306. Sometimes it only procs for 300. I think it depends on their nature resistance. Because if they have higher nature resistance, then they can get a partial resist on your attack. But if they don't have any, then I think it's always a 306. But I have seen 300. I've never seen it crit. People are saying that Thunderfury can crit. I've yet to see it, and I've looked through a lot of the details logs on Thunderfury. I've never seen crit, but I heard if you get spell crit, you can. So theoretically, I think with the DM buff that gives you 2% spell crit, I think you could maybe get a Thunderfury crit, but I don't know, I haven't seen it. So this mob had 8.5k health, and I averaged 343 DPS on him, right? With 612 from Thunderfury, 382 from Poison procs, and white swings of 7.5k, which is just my regular attacks. So that was 343. Okay, so this is 320, which is pretty similar. This actually had 3 procs. This mob had 8.9k, right? So they must have been, this one 8.5. So this one must have been 1 level higher. You know, this one's 53. It could have been like a 54 or a 55. That's why it has 400 more HP. But I actually got 3 procs in this fight, which is pretty insane, actually. 1.2k damage off of just that. And I have 139 on poison procs, which is a lot less, I think, right? Yeah, it's less than half. The poison damage, which is surprising because the fight actually went on longer, so that's just one of the RNG factors. And that was a difference of 20 DPS, and that actually does make sense given that he had 400 more HP and it was a 20 DPS difference. Now let's go to without the Thunderfury on and with rank 14 offhand. We had 171 in 8.1. So this mob even had less health than the other two. And it was almost 100, you know, over like 130 DPS less, 160 DPS less than the top one, because that one was 340. So you got more damage off poison procs, 338, right? See what this was, 382. Okay, maybe you don't. Yeah, you didn't, which is actually surprising because it's faster, so theoretically you should get more DPS on poison procs. And then let's check this out. This one was 185 and it had 144 on poison procs, which is even less. But here's the thing. The thing is Thunderfury reduces their nature resistance, right? So if it reduces their nature resistance, then theoretically the poison procs, which are nature damage, will do more damage as well. So it actually does make more sense that your poison procs are going to be doing more damage with Thunderfury by reducing their nature resistance. And I'm not sure what nature res all these mobs have. I honestly have no clue. But it was pretty consistent, 185 and 171. I'll do one more just because I had Skull on the first time I attacked, and so I probably lost a little bit of DPS there. So I'll do one more just for science without the Thunderfury on. See what DPS we can get here. Also, you have to keep in mind, I am sword spec right now. I do have Hodge on. So there'll be times where I'll get an extra swing off a 5% chance from sword spec, and I'll have a chance at getting an extra swing off of Hodge. So this can also affect the data as well. So just keep that in mind. So that one was 204, which was, so it ranged from 171 to, okay, now it's saying 199. So it had a 20 DPS range. On this one, 750 on poison proc. So this one actually gave me the most on poison procs by far, which is pretty random, considering all the other ones weren't even close to that. This mob also only had 8.3k health. So this one was on the lower end as well, because that one was 53. This one's 53 as well. Here, let's see. Let's attack one more. Try to get a better median. I'll use one pot if I have to. I don't have Vanish, which kind of sucks, but it is what it is. There's a poison proc. Might have to Vanish on this one just because I look like I might die. But he's missed the last two attacks, which is really good for me. And dodge. It's going to be really close, actually. I'm good. But as you see, it's actually pretty consistent, man. That one gave me 921. See, I keep getting more on my poison procs, which is just so weird. But it's still around the same DPS, right? 185, 199, 198. So it's all in the range of 170 to 199. And these mobs even have less health, 8.4, right? So theoretically the DPS should be higher because it's taking me less time to kill them compared to when I'm using Thunderfury, which I got, 343 on an 8.5 and a 8.320 on an 8.9. So overall, I'd say Thunderfury is definitely worth it. I'm actually curious. I might kill one more with Thunderfury just to see if I can get a good average of all my Thunderfuries, because I did kill a couple more with the rank 14. So I'm going to go like this. I'm going to put this back on. We'll kill one more mob. Just see if we can stay above 300. And if we stay above 300, then it's going to be pretty obvious that the rank 14 offhand just does not do as much damage as Thunderfury because of the proc. Do I have anything to heal with before I fight this mob? I might just wait for evasion. Maybe pop a pot just to make it go faster for you guys. I could tuber. I really don't want to tuber, but I'll tuber. Okay. I have evasion back. We'll do one more with the Thunderfury so we can test the DPS. So instantly got a Thunderfury proc, which is pretty cool. Good thing about Thunderfury too, fighting mobs like this, is their attack speeds decreased by 20%. Time between attacks increased by 20%. See, and here's the thing, this one gave me 279. So it's still way more than rank 14 offhand. So I can still come to my conclusion, but there is a pretty wide range just from the Thunderfury procs. This one actually procs 3 times too, which is pretty insane. But it's very sword spec dependent. It's very dependent on crits. But overall, I think it's obvious that you can say that, look, 343, 320, 270. And then here's all the ones that are the rank 14 offhand. 171, 185, 199, 198. So all in all, I think you guys have learned that the rank 14 offhand is not as good as Thunderfury offhand in terms of just sheer DPS from the procs. If you guys did enjoy this video, please drop a like, a comment, subscribe. It would really help out. I'm also going to be streaming this game some more, Gears, Fortnite, Borderlands, streaming, a wide array of games. So if you guys want to stop by and say hi, it's twitch.tv/dilates. It should be in the description. And also there should be a giveaway at 100 followers on Twitch. I think I'm at like 21 or something like that. But it will be a Final Mouse Ultralight Pro, since I still have one that hasn't even been opened. It's my favorite mouse. I bought 2 of them. I have one that's not even opened yet that I would like to give away at 100 Twitch followers. So if you guys are interested in that as well, you just drop me a follow on Twitch. And thank you guys.